Chinedu trusted his best friend with 1.5 million Nigerian naira, but in less than 30 days everything was gone, not stolen by a stranger, but by the person he trusted the most. The sun had barely risen over the busy streets of Lagos when Chinedu stepped out of his small apartment in Surulere. The air carried a mix of hope and hustle, the kind that pushed young men like him to dream beyond their present struggles. Chinedu was not just any young man. He was disciplined, focused, and determined to change his story. Working as a junior accountant in a small logistics company, he earned just enough to survive but not enough to live the life he imagined. But Chinedu had a plan. And more importantly, he had a friend. Tond. They had been best friends since secondary school. Back then, people used to call them 5 and 6 because they were inseparable. Tond was the lively one, sharp, smooth-talking, always full of energy. Chinedu, on the other hand, was calm and calculated. Where Chinedu saw risk, Tond saw opportunity. Where Chinedu hesitated, Tond. 2 weeks later, they pulled their savings, 1.5 million Nigerian nairas in total. To Chinedu, it was everything. To Tond, it was a stepping stone. They agreed that Tond would handle sourcing and logistics while Chinedu managed the finances and records. It seemed like a perfect arrangement. At first, everything went smoothly. Goods arrived. Sales were booming. Money was coming in. Guy, we don't blow small. Tond laughed one afternoon as they counted cash. Chinedu smiled, feeling proud. For the first time in his life, things were working. The very foundation of everything. Chinedu backed down. I trust you, he said quietly. But deep down, something didn't feel right. One afternoon, Chinedu received a call from a supplier. Hello, this is Mr. Okeke. We haven't received full payment for the last shipment. Chinedu froze. What do you mean? Payment was made. No, sir. Only partial payment was received. His heart began to race. Immediately, he called Tond. Tond, where are you? Why you they shout like that? Tond replied. Supplier said payment never complete. Wetin dey happen? There was silence. Then Tond spoke slowly. I go explain. That night, they met. Chinedu sat quietly, his mind heavy. Tond avoided eye contact. Finally, Chinedu spoke. Talk. Tond exhaled. I used some of the money. For what? Chinedu's voice tightened. I invested in something else. Quick return. I think say e go double. Chinedu stood up immediately. You did what? Calm down. Calm down. Chinedu shouted. No business money. Our money. I won't make more profit for us. Tond defended. Without telling me. Silence filled the room. Then Chinedu asked the question that mattered most. Where is the money now? Tond looked down. No work. That moment felt like the ground had disappeared beneath Chinedu's feet, meaning, the money don't go? He asked slowly. Tond nodded. Almost all. Chinedu laughed, but it wasn't a laugh of joy. It was pain, deep, silent pain. Guy, you don't finish me, he whispered. Tond tried to move closer. I go fix don't. Chinedu stepped back. Just don't. Days passed, the business collapsed, suppliers demanded payments, customers stopped calling, everything they built, gone. Chinedu returned to his normal life, but nothing felt normal anymore. The betrayal cut deeper than the loss of money. It wasn't just business. It was trust. Point. One evening, as Chinedu sat outside his apartment, his neighbor Musa joined him. You dey look like person we carry word for head, Musa said. Chinedu sighed. Person where you trust fit break you pass enemy. Musa nodded. Not true. But make I tell you something. Chinedu looked at him. Trust no be mistake. No, who you trust be the mistake. Chinedu thought about that for a long time. Weeks later, Tond showed up at his door looking different, less confident, more human. Chinedu, I beg, I need to talk. Chinedu stared at him silently. I mess up. Tond continued. I know. I don't lose everything too. I no think. Chinedu's voice was calm. You no think, but I trusted you. Tond's eyes filled with regret. I'm sorry. Chinedu shook his head slowly. Sorry no they bring back lost trust. There was a long pause, then Chinedu spoke again. I forgive you. Tond looked up, surprised, but we can never be the same again. That hit harder than any insult. Tond nodded slowly. I understand. And just like that, years of friendship ended not with anger, but with silence. Months passed. Chinedu slowly rebuilt himself, this time, wiser, stronger, more careful. He started again small, steady, alone, and though the journey was harder, he never forgot the lesson. One night, as he looked at his new business records, he smiled slightly, not because everything was perfect, but because he had learned something powerful. Not everyone who walks with you is meant to grow with you. In life, trust is valuable, but misplaced trust, that one fit cost you everything. Chinedu trusted his best friend, and that was his biggest mistake.